Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Black Clover. Last time around we had Smiles, Tears. Not Smiles and Tears, there's just a little comma between them. Anyway. The gang regrouped after saving Luck and went back to the Black Bull's base, found it seemingly destroyed. They figured out that Ghosh had been possessed by an elf, and he went on his way. Luckily, he didn't kill Henry, Gordon, or Gray, who all three of them were kind of freaking out. Well, Henry wasn't freaking out, he was just talking slow. But, and then Charmy showed up, and they had a fake out that she was possessed, but she actually wasn't possessed, she was just pissed, because someone broke her garden. And then they all had a nice meal to regain their vitality and their magic, and they headed off as a team to go do their job as Magic Knights. So that is pretty much where we left off. Yeah. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Black Clover. Here we go. Okay, well, good for him. You know, I was kind of okay with the three of them just being dead forever and ever, but sure, we can work with it. Oh, boy, oh, boy. They need to... Sorry, my hair is so long now that it gets in my mouth a lot, so we're gonna push it back to where my ears are, and I'm gonna look like Perrin from Andor, so... Except he's losing his hair up front, so... Oh, well. Anywho. They need to grab the other three. Those three Magic Knights that they just saved. They're a little down for the count, I will admit, but, give them some food. Give them some food. Get these guys up and moving. We need all the help we can get. Especially when all of Golden Dawn, minus Mimosa, are... technically, are elves, so... Oh, why does my throat hurt already? That's not good. But yeah. Yeah. Man, William, there really is just an inherent tragedy to William, you know? Because it's just like, I get it. I understand. It's like with the elves, you know? Why the elves are so mad and they want to take revenge on humanity. It's like, I get it, you know? Because it's just like, he has felt Patchery within him for so long. I could have phrased that better. I have to sneeze. I'm very sneezy today. I don't know why. But yeah, it's like, he has felt Patchery's presence his whole life. Which is interesting, too, because it's like, they made it seem like, well, Patchery just came back, basically. But he was a part of William for William's entire life. He only awoke after 16 years, which is interesting. But the soul was there the whole time, which is interesting. That's very interesting. I don't know if that will lead to anything, but it's an interesting little notation about that. And yeah, it's like, I understand that, William, he viewed Patchery as just this sort of weak creature, you know? He could feel the sad and angry emotions of Patchery his whole life, and so he wanted to protect it, because, if anything, he empathized with another lost soul, essentially, you know? Because that's kind of what William was for the longest time, you know? It wasn't until... he was 13 when Julius acknowledged him. In fact, I mean, it's an interesting thing that it's like, well, Patchery was there for William's entire life, which we have to... It's also weird because now we know that Licht is Patchery, not Licht, but anyway. But yeah, but Patchery was there for William's entire life, but in a sense... like, the first person to truly acknowledge William was Julius, you know? And that's interesting, you know? And it's also interesting that, like... I mean, I guess I understand, but, like, since Patry, acknowledged William as, his one and only human friend, I don't know, you would think maybe William would be able to show him the good in humans. But then again, I mean, all they have to do is look at Langris. William's own vice captain of Golden Dawn. You just have to look at him and be like, okay, there's a good argument that humans are terrible, Like, for every Julius, there is a Langris, For every Noel, there is a Solid, Boy, the name Solid is stupid. Can we just put that out there? But anyway, well, so is Nozel. It's like the author definitely came up with Noel first, and then it's like, oh, what are the siblings' names? Nozel. I don't know. It sounds like a Gundam name. Anyway, but yeah, so it's like it's interesting, but I mean that hatred just kept welling up in Patry, and if anything, for good reason, That's a thing. I'm glad that with this episode we didn't hold too long on the elves of the episode, including the actual definitive Zerx Lugner, which is funny. He finally recovered from fighting with Zora, so well, I mean that's the thing with that. It's like I feel like my recovery times in Black Clover have been skewed so heavily because it took, like, I don't know, 70 episodes or so for Fuegoleon to get back up. Whereas it's like, alright, Finral's back, the actual Zerx is back, like, okay, there we go. I don't know, but yeah. But I'm glad we didn't hold too long on that, because the whole thing was like, it's like, oh, there's some sort of enemy. Well, no humans can stand against us. I was like, oh, here we go. And then they just got their asses kicked, and I was like, oh, okay, that worked. That's good. Let's just speed run over that. So, but yeah, I don't know. So William, I understand William. I understand why, and it's interesting. I like that he basically berates himself for not being able to choose between Patry and Julius. For having to betray Julius. I mean, the thing is, he didn't want to choose between either of them. He didn't want any of this to really happen. If anything, William, would want what the original Wizard King said, We want to be able to coexist, I don't think it's any, like, coincidence that the Golden Dawn uniform looks a lot like the outfit that the original Wizard King wore. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's interesting. I at least understand William, and now William, because the reincarnation is complete with Patry, William just isn't a part of that anymore. So he's in a deep sleep. The only thing that can save William now is Asta's sword. So it does bring up the question of, if he hits Licht Prime, like, what happens, Because Licht is different from the rest of them, isn't he? Because, all of them awoke in human bodies and took them over. But Licht, it seemed like he has his original body. His original body from 500 years ago. So that's strange. That's very strange. It's like, well, and plus, I mean, there's also the question of, like, well, can that sword even do anything to him? He held it, We don't know how the swords work with him, Because as far as we know, they're only supposed to work with Asta because he has no magic. It's the only way he's able to wield those swords. But Licht does have magic. He does have immense mana. Basically said that. He clocked how much mana he has. So it's just like, so how does he wield those swords? No idea. Unless when he takes those swords, they become magic swords. But that's weird, because they still function the same way, you know? Like, the Demon Dweller sword still worked the exact same way that it does with Asta. It's just that Licht is, way better at using it, so... it's interesting, too, because there was that moment where the elves, attacked the Black Bull base, and, they kept missing and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, well, Rogue was able to do that, because Vanessa has her magic back. I do like the idea, though, that it's just like, you can't do anything to Henry, Like, Asta is the only one who could ever fight Henry, and he wouldn't do it, because he's Asta, he's a good boy, But, Henry is actually incredibly powerful, so it's like, I don't know, maybe we should just, throw him at the elves, suck up all their magic, and while they're like, I can't, my magic is being taken away, then Asta just comes in, bink, 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 and then there you go, they're all cured, Like, that could be a viable strategy, is just throwing Henry at people, Which, that's already the strategy, just with Asta. Like, that's what they did at the end, where it's like, we're going to use our big combination magic, and the Black Bulls, they literally just threw Asta at them, and it worked, I mean, how many fights have we had where it's just like, throw Asta, just do it. It's like Toy Story, or Toy Story 2, when they're trying to get through the ventilation grate, and they just all pick up Rex. And it's just, I don't want to use my head. That's what Asta is, basically. He's just a battering ram that they use occasionally, so... I don't know, man. And yeah, and Rades, was it Valtos? I keep mixing up Valtos and Ladros. I started writing Ladros, I was like, wait, that's not his name, it's Valtos. So... It's probably because they look very similar, honestly. It's probably because they look very, very similar that I just, I don't know, I can't get them both in my head for some reason. But yeah, but the three of them, they're cool now. They're cool. I do like the two of them are just I don't really want revenge. Sally's just fucking crazy. She just wants to do her experiments, so she's just happy to be alive again. And Valtos is just well, I gotta find out the truth, I have to figure out what's going on. Rades is the one who's very pissed, so... But good on him for figuring something out, For basically saving their lives with his magic, so... That was good. And yeah, more people to join the team. Hey, honestly, if the three of them can be good, they could probably join the Black Bulls, I'm gonna be honest. Rades is probably gonna have to work on that. I mean, we don't really need Valtos because we have Finral. But I mean, I could see the two of them being buddies, I could see, the two of them being buddies. They go out for a night on the town. Finral's coming out here with the charm that never works, and Valtos is just I guess, I don't... I could see him being, kind of reserved, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this, Just we spatial users, we gotta stick together, man. Come on, let's go on a night on the town, we're gonna go get some girls, and then they just both fucking fail, Or maybe even Valtos gets someone. That'd be nice. That'd be sweet. So... And then Sally, yeah, if Sally would just not hurt people in her experiments, If she could just be Diet Hanji, then everything would be great with her, So... And Rades... He needs some work. He needs some work, but... Honestly, he could probably join the Black Bulls. He just needs to get a couple more spells going, Maybe he could hang out with Gordon, actually. Because Gordon has all, the poison magic and stuff. Maybe the two of them could figure something out, That'd be cool, actually. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could the three of them join the Black Bulls? I don't know. I mean, hey, the Black Bulls, we're always down for, new hooligans, so... Oh, boy, oh, boy. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Good stuff. Good stuff. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Black Clover reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.